presentation we divided into 6 parts: background, motivation, and purpose, the responses of Taiwan and US, Taiwan's economy after the outbreak, questions and findings, and at the end, we will make the conclusion and give the suggestions. As everyone knows that Covid-19 is spreading around the world, while the pandemic has continued, it had a huge impact on global citizens and industries. As of December 16, there are about 73 million confirmed cases and over 1.6 deaths in the world. However, Taiwan was greatly affected by SARS because the governments didn't quickly take measures. So the purpose of this study is to explore what the public satisfaction of the precautions that government has taken this time, and whether the industry and college students are affected or not. Also, what Taiwan can learn and improve to prevent a similar epidemic in the future. Next, welcome Cindy to talk about line charts.
Thank you, Winnie. First, let's look at the chart. As you can see, due to the precaution, the epidemic has been controlled in Taiwan. And for now, the number of the confirmed cases has reached 724. On the other hand, the number of the United States has reached 50 million, and it seems to be not slowing down. Here we sum up some points on Taiwan's and the United States responses to COVID-19. First, Taiwan. As you can see the timeline, when the first cases had been founded, the Taiwan's government had quickly taken measures to prevent the spread of the virus, such as banning the export of masks, restricting visits to Taiwan, home quarantine, and self-health management. When Taiwan's epidemic had been gradually controlled, the Taiwan's government also came up with some measures to help Taiwan's economy, such as stimulus voucher program, subsidies to private businesses that are affected by the epidemic. Although the epidemic had been slowed down, the Taiwan's government have not been slackened. For the latest precaution in December, the masks must be worn in 8 types of the public places. And next, Nancy will talk about the United States.
Thank you, Cindy. Now let's look at the U.S. The first case in the U.S. was confirmed on January 21st, 2020. The case jumped to 10,000 by the middle of March, and the U.S. government discouraged people from traveling over Thanksgiving and Christmas. While the epidemic still rages around the world, we have some information about vaccines. There are 3 main vaccines in the U.S. All of them have tests up to 90% effect. Next, Taiwan's economic grew by 3.92%. Here we take retail and catering industry as an illustration. But as we can see, both Taiwan and the U.S. retail industry have an impact because of the COVID-19. However, the decrease of outgoing consumption behavior has promoted online shopping and delivery service. In the first quarter, the revenue of online shop was increased 16.5%, and the revenue of catering provide delivery have reduced lower than those which do not. It shows that delivery service would affect catering industry. Next, Olivia and Ruby will introduce our research method.
Thank you, Nancy. We use the 3 methods to investigate the impact of COVID-19: document analysis, questionnaire, and interview. First, we research more about the differences between Taiwan and the US in preventing the epidemic through the document analysis. Second, we use the questionnaire to investigate the influence of COVID-19. We sent out 300 questionnaires to 300 students who studied at the university in Taiwan in October 2020. There are 4 questions, which are: has COVID-19 caused any anxiety? Has COVID-19 disrupt their future plan? What was the impact on their job during the epidemic? What was the precautions has they taken during epidemic? We also received some thoughts and the certifications about the government policies through the questionnaire. Next, we interview the tourism bureau, the travel agency, the craft schools, and the restaurants. in order to get more specific information. Next, Ruby will talk about the findings.
Thank you, Olivia. First, COVID-19 caused 59.3% of the participants to feel anxious, and 139 participants felt anxious due to seeing people not wearing masks. Second, COVID-19 has disrupted the future plan of 65% of the participants. Among those who feel that have been affected by COVID-19, half of the participants behave that they cannot travel abroad. Third, 62.9% of the participants had jobs during the epidemic, and 45.6% of the participants said that the business has decreased. As a result, COVID-19 has an impact on people's mental state, future plan, and business. Next, the top 3 certification and prevention measures are wearing masks when taking public transportation, holding quarantine, and home quarantine. Next, Willie will talk about the interview of education and tourism.
Thank you, Ruby. We divided the content of the interview into 3 parts, which are education, tourism, and employment. The first part is education. We interviewed 3 current schools. After the interview, we learned that each current course has adequate epidemic prevention measures, such as taking body temperature and wearing masks. Some current courses also prohibit gatherings and eating in a classroom. The current school hope that the parents do not have to worry about their children will be exposed to danger during the epidemic. The second part is tourism. We interviewed the tourism bureau through email. We were fortunate to get a reply from the secretary. The mail mentioned 3 important points. The first is short-term tourism relief and revitalization programs. The second is the medium and long-term tourism 2025 plan. After the epidemic stabilizes, the short-distance travel will be the main focus, and the long-distance travel may not be able to recover in a short time. We also interviewed the Fukan Travel Agency and learned that the current travel agencies mainly focus on domestic travel. The government also has given 3-month subsidies of the 40% of the salary. The travel agency is waiting to see the return trip between 6 months to 1.5 years after the epidemic stabilizes. Next, Kevin will talk about employment and the conclusion.
Thank you, Willie, and I'm Kevin. I'm going to talk about employment. We interviewed a restaurant, and the response is that the restaurant has followed government indication during outbreak, and the business of the restaurant has just get a little bit of the impact during the epidemic. And next is suggestion and conclusion. The result of the questionnaire show that there are more than half of the college students were affected by COVID-19, and moreover, 98% of people feel that Taiwan is more safer than the other country because Taiwan have done a great job on the preventing measures. To sum up, the result compared with SARS nearly 20 years, and Taiwan has do better in the preventing measures and has know how to protect the economy in this situation. And here are 3 suggestions from the government. First is severe penalties. People who insist to go abroad during the outbreak should get severe penalties. Second is quarantine. People who come back home during the outbreak should quarantine more than 14 days. And third is more subsidy. Government should give more subsidy to those people who were unemployed during the outbreak. And the epidemic is still continue, so everyone should still protect yourself. And this is our presentation. Thank you.